little higher. So I want to bring in Main Street Asset Management LLC Chief Investment Officer Aaron Gibbs. I'm glad you didn't have to have me read the address also, Aaron. So you're a tape reader too,
yep.
Right? And you let the market. You know, you're one of these folks. What I love about you is you let the market tell a story. A lot of people come in and like the market's got it wrong. What are you hearing from this market?
So both from yesterday and today, we see a lot of breadth. And I think this chart is even showing us that even the two sectors that are down, they're basically flat, right? So we're seeing everything but two. Yesterday, everything was up. And so that's telling us that this is, you know, a rising of all ships type of market.
You get materials, you get
that's
financials,
a big bounce back.
Right?
Yep.
You get financials, materials, you get staples. So it's a combination of things too. 6 of these sectors are still up. Communication services are still up. So you get a little bit of growth, but you also have some of these other names. How important is it that, again, they start to broaden out?
I think this is important in that it's really been a complete change from what we saw in September, in that we knew we were oversold at the end of September. Ever since sort of October 6th, we've been seeing the markets recover. They've realized that they were oversold. Now, could this be an October bounce kind of type of thing? Because we do see it across the board.
Right.
Very possible. So I'm not calling this a full bull market yet. But at least I think we've got another couple more weeks to run. And I think the areas that we're going to see the continuation of this run is going to be in your cyclicals. So like your technology, to consumer discretionary, communication services, internet, those types of guys.
And you put out the earnings today, the third quarter. So the names you're talking about, does also coincide with the fact that they're expecting stronger, pretty
yeah, these are some big numbers.
Right.
And this is not just for third quarter, but you look at fourth quarter going into 2024, these are your leaders.
Right.
So your technologies, these are the guys that are going to get you through into the next 4 quarters. And so that's really where your leadership, and so now that they were oversold, they're starting to look a little more, you know, fairly valued, even though still expensive in some cases. But I think we're looking at some possible good entry opportunities here.
So is that what you're telling your clients? Hey, listen, let's start. I mean, listen, we know that when it feels bad, when people want to sell, when they want to give up, that's when you're supposed to be buying.
Right.
Having these conversations all the time feels like, oh boy, we got to have it. But for me, every time I've had this conversation with people and they've listened to me, you know, for the most part, they were happy. But getting them from here to there, it's not always easy.
No, and the one thing is, look, we still could face a couple more rate hikes. We could get some really bad negative news at the beginning of the year that could send, even if their earnings look great, their valuations will still get compressed. We'll still see this choppy movement where we don't really go anywhere. We sort of end up flat. And you may have to trade rather quickly to make more money, or just stay in it and like maybe wait into your profits until the end of 2024.
Is that because the Fed continues to loom large over this? I mean, it's just casting this dark, cold shadow. We don't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to talk fundamentals again. I really would. But right now, it's still very much about the bond market. So at least when I am investing in equities, I still like to start with fundamentals, but I know that we have some major headwinds from the bond market.
Before I let you go, then 15 basis points today. That's a hell of a move. Again, we got the 489. We got a little bit closer there. Now, if we get up there and we don't break out and we start to pull back, maybe a buy signal?
Possibly. But yeah, if we break, particularly above that 5%, you know, that's what everybody's sort of on the lookout for, and that could that could be a big game changer.
I think back in the day they called that Katie bar to door.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. All right, folks, coming up,